EA Sports. It's in the game.
Limitless. The ability to break free. To experience golf in ways you never thought possible. Taking your game to levels once only dreamed of. Welcome to the next generation of golf. This is EA Sports Rory Mcllroy PGA Tour. Hello again, everyone. This is Rich Lerner here to walk you through some lessons on how to play EA Sports Rory Mcllroy PGA Tour. We'll start with lessons that teach you how to set up different shots. Let's get started. The first thing you need to know is how to aim your shot. Change your aim direction to aim at the targets and pass this lesson. Picking the right club is another key to shot selection. Your current club is always displayed here. Change your club to aim at the targets and pass this lesson. There are 6 basic shot types. Your current shot type is always displayed here. A full shot aims your club at its maximum distance. A choke shot aims you a little shorter than the club's maximum distance. A punch shot is a low shot used to get out of the trees or keep the ball under the wind. A pitch shot is useful when you get near the green. A flop shot is useful near the green when you need the ball to stop quickly. A chip shot is useful when you are right next to the green and have a lot of room to work with. Creating custom shots starts with knowing how to change your aim distance. Change your aim distance to aim at the targets and pass this lesson. You can further customize your shots by using shot shaping. Your shot shaping meter will show up here when you are actively using it. Change your shot shape to aim through the rings and pass this lesson. There are 3 different ways to play the game. The arcade style uses a simple analog stick swing. Additionally, when you pull down on the swing stick, the golfer's animation will begin. The backswing meter will begin to fill. When the meter gets full, you want to push forward on the swing stick. A readout of your swing will appear after you hit your shot. The arcade style also gives you the ability to boost your power and add spin to shots. The power boost meter will show you how much power you are adding to your shot. The spin meter shows you the speed and direction of your mid-air spin. The arcade style automatically shortens your swing animation as you aim for shorter shots. The backswing meter will fill quicker and the animation will come to a stop sooner. Now that you know how to play and your training is complete, you can keep this style, practice some more, or choose a different style. So many historic moments have played out before our eyes in major championships, and today, two of the top players in the world are set to tee off. Rory McIlroy holding a one-shot lead over Martin Kaymer. It's the final round of the U.S. Open Championship at Chambers Bay.
Going into the final round of any golf tournament with a chance to win, especially a major championship, it's a huge buzz. That's the only way I can describe it. It's the best feeling a golfer can have because you're in the mix and you're in with a chance to win one of the biggest tournaments in the world. It's an incredible feeling. It's something that you may only get to experience a handful of times in your life. So, that atmosphere, you want to soak it in as much as you can and really enjoy it.
Rory McIlroy coming off a strong performance yesterday, now making his way to that first tee box and looking to add another major championship trophy to his already growing collection.
And Rich, there's no doubt both golfers will be nervous until they get that very first tee shot under their belt.
The first tee shot is probably the most difficult because you've been thinking about that shot since the night before. Once you get that first shot out of the way, you calm down, you're a little more settled, you're not quite as anxious or nervous, and you sort of get into the rhythm of the round. You want to get off to the best start possible, and obviously that starts with that first tee shot.
Well, here he is, Rory McIlroy, a past U.S. Open champion, about to tee off on what should be an historic day of golf alongside the beautiful Puget Sound. And he's underway. Frank, it looks like a good one.
Yeah, it looked like a free-throwing swing, that's for sure. Certainly betrayed the nervous feeling that we thought he might be feeling on the first tee. And a huge tee shot.
Not on the first tee, even for great players.
If you can control them.
Frank, tricky little shot from 145 for McIlroy.
You'd imagine with a little bit of nervous energy, probably only a wedge though for Rory, just something in between the flag and the bunkers on the right. Use the terrain of the green.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Looks to be a good one, Frank.
Oh, nestles inside 15 feet, so a birdie chance coming up for Rory.
McIlroy rocketed onto the scene with that first major championship, Frank, at the age of 22.
Yeah, that was at Congressional. A lot was said because the golf course was soft, and we know he's a good player in a soft venue, but watching his game mature so quickly and his ability to accumulate victories at the highest level along the way, that's one of the things that really stands out with Rory. And early advantage, Mcllroy.
I think making putts early in a round is very important. It sets the tone for the day and it gives you some positive momentum early. You see the ball go into the hole and it gives you confidence. You face a downhill putt at a US Open with greens that are as tricky as that, it just makes it even more difficult. I feel like you always face important putts no matter when it is, but obviously they're that much more important when, you know, it's the final round of a major.
Now over to the second, and McIlroy with a challenging downhill putt. Frank, I know it's early, but if he drops this could really spark some momentum for the round.
But this putt will be very, very quick. You've got to be careful because the ball can quite easily take off once it gets past the hole.
Rory McIlroy looking to take advantage with this putt. Not that time, but not for lack of effort. So he'll have to take care of his business and knock it in for par. All right, took care of his business there. After an impressive drive, Rory just 165 yards out, faced with this uphill approach shot.
He's going to play closer to about 175 yards though, Rich, because of that uphill. So probably an extra club. But Rory, even though he grew up in Northern Ireland, where it's windy, is a naturally high ball hitter. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it.
It's a good strike. Good swing by McIlroy. And no problem finding the putting surface. Just a fraction too aggressive. Remember, line and speed go together.
Sometimes you want that birdie so badly, and all of a sudden you're faced with a lot of work, more work than you had hoped for, just to make the par. Maybe a misread right there. This to surrender, only one shot. And he makes it for a bogey here.
There's some times when there might be a wait on a tee box, or you've played your shot and you're waiting on your playing partners to hit their shots, and you just look around and you realize where you are, because you don't really you don't appreciate it that much whenever you're playing, and that's not what you're thinking about. You're thinking about trying to win a golf tournament and not really taking in the beauty of your surroundings.
Rory set to tee off here on the long par 3 ninth hole, appropriately named Olympus for its high perch above the course. Really a stunning view.
It's right now about club selection, whether to hit one or two clubs less than what the yardage is showing right now. We're at least 100 feet above here. And you're going to want to sit up on the left side of that green. Have to avoid that menacing bunker on the right.
Safely aboard. Long putt here. This will require a good touch. Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. Settles in over the putt. Oh my goodness, he missed it. He missed a bunny. That's like missing a layup in basketball. So they'll tap in. Blemish on the scorecard, a bogey. Now it is Martin Keimer all alone. Not unlike that tree out in the distance. They actually called that one Lone Fir here at 15. So McIlroy is the chaser.
And not only is he chasing, Rich, he has to get this up and down. Very difficult flop shot. This is a high-risk shot. Trying to get that ball up very quickly over the little pot bunker and then somehow get the ball to land soft on these very fast and very firm greens.
He's made the green.
Rich, you get that feeling if there's going to be a moment, I think that moment is now.
Trying to clean this up, make his par. It happens sometimes, Frank. They don't all drop.
No, but you try telling him right now.
Locked in on the read and the speed. So not his best work. He'll walk away with a bogey.
Final few holes to play, especially of a major championship like the US Open. You know, it's what you've worked so hard for. It's what, you know, you've put all those hours of practice in for, and you know, this is your moment. This is your moment to see what you've got against the best players in the world and test yourself at the ultimate level. There's obviously a lot of pressure. You know, you don't want to let an opportunity like this pass you by. You don't want to let it slip. So just stay really focused, really concentrated. Try to take one shot at a time. Try and put the result out of your mind. Control what you can control. But saying that, it is difficult with so many things going on around you, whether it be the crowd or it could be the person that you're going up against. You know, there's so many things that you can't control, but you know, the things that you can control, that's what you have to concentrate on, and that's what you have to try and, you know, do to the best of your ability. And if you can do that, that's what gives you the best chance to try and win a huge tournament like the US Open.
You couldn't ask for much more than what we have right here. Two former US Open champions, 17th hole, tied for the lead, Martin Kaymer and Rory McIlroy.
And Rich, it's easy to remember these types of situations, and it's as much about mental toughness as anything right now. The 17th hole is named Derailed, and I'm sure it's a great test for both men's mental toughness. Safely on deck.
That one was running so high.
Second shot.
Pretty good shot right there. Rory now for par to put a little pressure on Kaymer. Continuing to putt with confidence. Frank, this has been just a fantastic week, and these last few shots are going to determine the entire championship.
Rich, normally you'd think par on the 72nd hole would be good enough to win a US Open, but this par 5 is certainly reachable by these players. Par, no doubt, will not be good enough.
What was he thinking there?
I have no earthly idea. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Frank, ball is in the rough here. What are the problems on this next shot?
Well, this is really where the skill level comes in. A good par, this is where the good player.
Frank, the great thing about these major championships is the slow build-up to moments just like this, and then it gets really tense.
It's a dream scenario, Rich. You just dream that you're going to have the two best players in the game vying it out, coming down to the very last hole. That's exactly what we have right now. So far, they've provided great golf. It's going to take something even better than that right now to determine who's going to win.
This one doesn't look too good, Frank.
There's a bunker over there, and it's heading towards it.
Yeah, it's in the bunker. Just 37 yards to the hole.
And a solid shot by Keimer.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. So a tough way to close the round, missing a short putt and a bogey here at 18. The door was open, but Martin Keimer slammed it shut. Keimer, the U.S. Open champion yet again. It came down to the final hole. Keimer really put on a show. This will forever be remembered as one of the best finishes in major championship history.
Lose a lead or you lose a major, or it doesn't quite work out the way you had hoped. At that moment in time, there's obviously a lot of disappointment, but I think that passes and you use that as motivation for the next one, and that's the only way you can view it. You can't feel sorry for yourself, or you can't get down about it, because what's happened's happened. The past is the past, and you move on. But you use it as motivation not to let it happen again. My toughest loss was the 2011 Masters, when I had a 4-shot lead going into the final round, and completely blew up on the back nine. It was a very tough, very disappointing, but I used that as motivation to say to myself, that's not going to happen again. That's not the player I am. That's not the player I want to be. I used it in a way that 70 days later, I won my first US Open and my first major. So sometimes disappointments can be catalysts for good things to happen in the future, and it's just how you react to it. And I feel like, if you react to your disappointments in the right way, they can be very beneficial.
This is EA Sports, PGA Tour coverage coming your way. Today we're here at Chambers Bay in University Place, Washington. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, set to bring you all of the action. Frank, what can you tell us about this golf course?
We've got a big golf course in front of us today. Robert Trent Jones II designed this golf course really to fit in with these marvelous surroundings. But consequently, we have like what I would call almost an inland links. It's going to play like that. Ideally, you'd like to play this golf course through the air, but it's very exposed to the elements.
So we're ready to get the round going here at Chambers Bay, and we'll begin, Frank, at the first with a par 4.
496 yards, obviously that'll stretch anybody out there. That bunker down the right is very much in play. The fairway does narrow out too, just short of that. So this really is going to require one of your best tee shots. Semi-blind second shot, a relatively big green.
Well, he pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. You'll need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole. Don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
He'll take that one all day long. Very solid, about 15 feet away. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. Now at the second and a medium-length par 4, Frank.
Yeah, a slight dogleg to the left, rather long, skinny green here, well bunkered all the way down the left side. Really anything down the right and the natural contours of the land should kick that ball a little to the left.
But this could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it. I tell you, there's long and long, and that, with a little bit of breeze behind, it's long.
He rode the wind there to payday. He's going to have a good look coming up. Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. -1 and early going. At the third tee now, Frank, and what are we staring at here?
This green is anything other than symmetrical, so be very, very cautious on where the flag is. Anything in the middle of the green you can putt to the corners, well, if you can call them corners, more like ragtails, but beautiful par 3.
That was like Usain Bolt, Frank, right through the tape.
Yeah, that first step, that was never going to stop.
Now the game's #1 player, Rory McIlroy, ready with his approach. Frank, he has to be scratching his head as he reaches for a sand wedge or a gap wedge for his next shot.
Well, you know, the FedEx Cup, Rich. I mean, you're meant to get there by 10:30 tomorrow. That thing's still going.
And he's made it onto the green now. And getting ready for the putt. How does that stay out?
I have no earthly idea. Let's crawl that. Hole's round. Ball's meant to go in.
Nudge this one home, finish it up. Just a shade over par, +1. Frank, here on the fourth tee, you get a good look, don't you, at what Chambers Bay really is all about.
It's framed beautifully, Rich, by the bunkers there, left, short, off the tee, plus the ones down the right side. You can see everything in front of you, but the hole does bend to the right. This is another one where you've got a generous fairway, but don't be fooled by that. It's fairway first.
Tough par 4 measuring 495 yards. That's a heck of a poke right there, 310 yards and in the fairway. Frank, do you go for the green in 2 here at the fourth?
Yeah, those bunkers down the right, I think there's a 50-50 chance you're going to finish up in there, and that's not a problem. And that's why you realise you've got to have good short games. There's a little bit of undulation in this green, but there's no shame to be playing your third shot out of that greenside bunker on the right.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play, very solid. And so the approach shot finishes up some 25 feet from the hole.
Yeah, not his best, but certainly not his worst.
Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him. When you consider the length of that putt, that's a good putt.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Frank, there's an old basketball announcer who used to say when a ball went in and out of the cylinder, just the way that one did, he would say, ringtail howitzer. And that one just didn't go in. Well, Frank, here at the fifth, and I'm not sure about my chances at a hole that's called free fall. I mean, are you kidding?
Well, should be free fall for you, that's for sure, and free fall for a lot of people playing it today. Hole looks straight away, but you'll see it starts to pinch in, that fairway that is, by bunkers left and right, and those bunkers come in exactly where you're trying to hit your tee shot. That was terrible.
That's one of the more depressing sights in golf. You've hit a good one, and then it just sucks back too much spin off the green. Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. Getting set now over the putt. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. Well, he has that for bogey, and I can't help but think that the double bogey back on the third hole seems to have really shaken his confidence. Frank, now at the sixth, this appears to be a testing par 4 long one.
It is, but once again, a generous fairway. Just use those mounds down the left as an indicator on your line. Hole bends a little bit to the right. Good tee shot, though, and everything is in front of you. Oh, I liked that. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. This has not been a great round as we head toward the finishing stretch here. You can tell the winds have really affected the shots out on the course. Let's see if they can muster something coming to the finish line.
This is not heading in the right direction.
It looks like it's going to be in the rough. Getting set for this next shot from the rough. What does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Our attempt here. No fireworks, but not bad. That's par. Stays at 3 over. Frank, this is a daunting challenge. The 7th hole, long par 4. It's over 500 yards.
A huge bunker down the right side that probably runs for a good 200-300 yards. Obviously, that's to be avoided. And then, of course, there's the mounds and the hammocks and the dunes and that on the left side. That's the reason, really, why this hole's called Humpback. But then, a little bit like the golf course, there's only one greenside bunker to be worried about, but enough green left of that.
Headed for the bunker, I think. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
That was a pretty nasty lie out of the rough. He did the right thing there, Frank. He's set up for his 4th shot here, looking to get it on the green with this. And it is in.
Amazing. Amazing.
Now to the 8th and a long par 5, Frank.
Fortunately, there's no bunkers, just the dunes either side. The hole looks a little narrow off the tee, but get down there, you're going to realise that's a fairly generous fairway. There's a little bit of mounding in this green, too, that actually slopes it back towards the player. So use that to your advantage.
Good tee shot right in the fairway and plenty long. Playing his 2nd shot here at the par 5. Now the approach at the 8th, and Frank, what are the options for a player?
Well, the green does slope back to front, so if you're a high ball flight hitter, there's nothing wrong with flying the ball all the way up there. But because there's no bunkering in the front, you can also come in here low and sort of bound that ball up there. Choices.
On the green, and a chance for a birdie. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. So they'll tap in. Frank, we hear the sports psychologists say, forget about the bad shot, put it behind you. But you know, it just isn't that easy sometimes. You make the double bogey as he did on a previous hole. You're steaming mad. It's hard to let it go.
Well, it's like a lot of things in life too. You've got to choose whether you want to be your own friend or your own foe. And you know, right now you can see that he's fighting himself, and that's the biggest difference. You got to realize your best friend out there is you.
Confidence right now clearly is shaken. Frank, the handicap system in golf really is the great equalizer, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no sport like it. I can't imagine going to Wimbledon and playing, sort of Djokovic or Federer, or, playing NFL with Peyton Manning. But, the beauty of golf, we can go out in a golf course. We decide what our handicaps are on the first tee. We decide who's going to get strokes, and then off you go and play. And you play on a level playing field.
Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. Now from the bunker.
Yeah, just a little splash out on this par 3.
And he's made the green. Needs this for par. Just hammered that par putt, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he was thinking or what was going through his mind right there, but he better wake up in a hurry, because if this one doesn't go in, that score's going to rack up very quickly. I don't think a tourniquet is going to work after that.
Watch. Well, let's hope he can regain some ground here on the back 9. Not his best performance so far today.
But what a good back 9 would do. If he can just even this round out with just 9 good holes, so much can happen. Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
In the fairway here at the 10th, nice way to start off the back 9.
Rich, now's the time to knuckle down. I know things haven't gone right up to this point, but really, this is where you can still get something out of it. Just give yourself that opportunity. You're good enough.
Beauty of golf, Frank. One good strike comes off the center of the bat, one good result, and you begin to feel differently about things.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
Early part of this second 9, and a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. You can't leave it short, Frank.
Oh, and especially right in the middle.
Just a couple of feet. He'll take par and move on. Stepping up to the tee here at the 11th, Frank.
It looks straightforward. You see a big dune in the middle of the fairway. You can really take that out of play. Get it down there as far as you can. You're going to need to. And then from there on in, it's really just trying to find out exactly where you want to land that second shot so that you can get it on the right level.
Outstanding tee shot.
Yeah, ball's sitting up. You don't have to worry about the wind or anything there. You just take a full-blooded cut at the second shot from here. Second shot.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
That's a head scratcher. No other way to put it. That close to the green and misses it badly to the right. Quite a few loose shots today. That's a 5th bogey on the round. Measuring 311 yards, the 12th, Frank, seems to offer an opportunity for a player to do something pretty dramatic here.
Yeah, it's called the Narrows. Really, it should be called the Temptation, because what player stands on a tee knowing he can reach and doesn't take up the gauntlet?
And as he strides up here to the 12th green, having hit it in regulation, he knows now that his work is by no means done. A long putt coming up. Pretty good stroke right there, just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus. Had to be a misread.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Workmanlike hole, he walks away with a par. On to the 13th hole here at Chambers Bay. It's a par 4, and they call this one Eagle Eye.
Yeah, dogleg to the right, beefy par 4. You hit it down to one of the widest fairways on the golf course. And then up in front, if you look at the middle of the green, you're going to see one bunker. Needless to say, that's got to be avoided.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball, and this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole, don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
Solid play, heart of the green. These putts keep the round together. Well, Frank, you hear it so often. This is a game of dealing with your miscues.
That's the beauty of this game of golf. It giveth and it taketh away.
This golf course has been demanding today, and the scores reflect that, 7 over par. Frank, this is the 5th par 4 in a row, and they're not easy. This one here at 14, really a daunting tee shot.
It is. That's why it's called Cape Fair. A true Cape hole in golf, Rich, is when you've got to decide how much you want to bite off when you hit across a slight dogleg. And this one, really, you're going to be rewarded the further left you can go. There is one little bunker in the middle of the fairway that you have to avoid. That's going to be 320 or so yards off the tee. This hole, 546 yards, you're going to see a variety of second shots, or the length of second shots here, determined purely by the bravery of the tee shot.
So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait, and at least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par.
Good strike right there, right off the center of the face and about 20 feet away. Getting set now over the putt. Dropping a shot here late in the round, Frank, with that bogey at the 14th. Oh my gosh, that hurts. Oh, what happened there, Frank? Well, you almost lose count at this point. Safe to say, not under par. In fact, well over par. At last, Frank, a break from those long par 4s. We just played 5 par 4s in a row. Now the par 3 15th.
And also, as you can see in the distance, you can actually see a tree, one of the few that are on the golf course. Hence the name of 15, it's called Lone Fir. Not overly long, just a little short hole. But in a US Open, obviously they can play it at around 250 yards. It's just a fun par 3. But check where that flag is, because sometimes 3 is a good score here. But an easy flag position, then go straight at it.
They'll pay a little bit of a price for missing the fairway here, because from that rough, you cannot control the spin on the golf ball.
Well, that's a smart shot. A lot of people would have tried to be a little more heroic from there, but there was no need.
Back on the fairway, back in play. Pretty good shot right there.
It's at sneaky distance.
that really hurts, Frank, missing the bogey putt.
Yeah, now time to get the handkerchief. Double bogey coming up.
Just a sloppy hole, no other way to say it, and it results in a double bogey. Getting set to take on the finishing holes here at Chambers Bay. How do you do it in the right way, Frank?
Well, when you look down this fairway, obviously everything slopes left to right. That makes this hole actually play a little bit more of a dogleg to the right, even though it doesn't look it. And then, of course, that green up ahead, it's like a tabletop. So precision here is absolutely paramount.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse, good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Not terrible, but not his best.
Outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
That was not a very good read right there. Not a gimme, but well within his range. How does that stay out?
I have no earthly idea. Let's crawl that. Hole's round. Ball's meant to go in.
Just a little tap in here. Everything has gone wrong today. Just continues to be ugly. Just 2 holes left to play. Now a par 3, the 17th, 218 yards, and all sorts of trouble, Frank, down that right.
Well, if you weren't beached at the 16th, then there's a chance you can be derailed, which is what this hole's called, at 17. Difficult par 3, you can see the bunker there in front, and once again, wind conditions. This is going to probably require one of the best tee shots, especially in the closing stages of the US Open.
That is a gorgeous shot inside of 5 feet. And getting ready for the putt. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Always love to hear the sound of the bottom of the cup. Now to the 18th hole, Frank, everyone wants to finish in style.
Yeah, the home hole here, once again, you head back to just a wonderful view, and you realize that Chambers Bay was designed as a walk-in golf course, and it was designed to have fun and test every department in your game. 18 will do that. It probably gives you more trouble on both sides of the hole than any other hole on the golf course. There's always the advantage of hitting it further than most, Rich, and straighter than most. When you put the two together, it's just straight up a head start.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity.
Really. This is an awkward length.
A little bit of a misread there.
Yeah, it was makeable, that's for sure.
Good effort, good par putt. Well, Frank, as we put a wrap on the day, it was plain to see he just didn't have his best stuff, but that's golf, and there's always tomorrow.
Yeah, you're rated by your best and your worst golf. Today's not, I don't think, a fair assessment.